Hello, I'm Robin Vincent and welcome to this 5-minute review of Output Movement. It's a multi-music technology 5-minute plugin review. As the name suggests, Movement is kind of a plugin for creating rhythms and engines of movement and sort of journeys and adventures in the modulation of sound. Or something like that. But really, it's just a kind of a cool effects processor with a couple of modulators. Let's listen to a couple of presets. So as you can hear, there is movement going on, a lot of rhythm, a lot of choppiness, a lot of things coming in and out and going faster and faster and stuff like that. Well, which is great. I mean, it's a lot of fun to play with. I mean, the sort of effects you've got going on in here, you've got a filter, you've got delay, you've got distortion, compression, reverb, and EQ. That's it, just the 6. But that seems to be enough. How Movement works is that it takes the signal in through the top and splits it into 2 engines, which are then processed separately and stuck together at the other end. So on each side you've got 4 effect inserts into which you can put any of those 6 plugins, and for each side you've got 2 modulators, which are called rhythm engines. Well, of course they are, because it's all about movement and rhythm. Each rhythm engine could be one of 3 different types of modulator. There's a good old-fashioned LFO, of course, which is awesome, and you've got different wave shapes for that. You've got sine waves, sawtooth, square waves, notchy things. You've also got a step version, which you can draw in of any sort yourself, or you can choose from another number of different patterns. The third one is Sidechain, which I confess I don't really understand, and so I'm going to ignore that, and you can look that one up yourself. You can then apply each modulator, each rhythm rather, to any parameters on its side of the signal chain. So let's take something very simple just to demonstrate that. I'll initialize the patch, stick in a filter. So there's your filter, as filters are. I'm going to take my initial LFO here, I'm going to stick it up to a nice slow rate rather, and all I do is drag that number 1 down to the cutoff. And now it's moving that cutoff from side to side. Nice. Now, they also have something called flux, which is a way of messing about with the rate. So we can turn that on and see what that sounds like. So you can go from something very ordered into something quite chaotic very quickly. So the next thing we'll do, we'll use this second modulator, the Rhythm 2, and slap it on the resonance. I can change that a bit. Let's choose a different pattern. So very quickly you can see how you can build up kind of an interesting patch. Let's try something a little bit more normal. I'm going to drop a delay in here. Nice. On the other side, I'll slap in a reverb. Now what's interesting, because it's a parallel effects processor, the reverb is not being applied to the delay. So the delay sound is not there within the reverb tail. Let's stick that on there. That LFO onto that one. Now what you find is, or at least what I'm finding, is that I quickly run out of modulators. My initial thinking is that I'm going to want to modulate things differently, but you can't, because you've only got 2 modulators per effects chain. So I can apply a nice slow LFO, but then if I want to modulate something else, I have to apply kind of the same LFO. And you can't cross-modulate. You can't modulate one effect from the rhythm engine on one side to the rhythm engine on the other. However, when you look at the presets, you realize that there's an enormous amount of creativity possible, because in order to create something as interesting as the presets are, you have to work pretty hard. The last thing to mention, of course, is the big XY pad in the middle, which is essentially a macro controller. You assign whatever knobs you like to it, as many as you like, and then you just fiddle with this all over the place. So in summary then, movement from output is a jolly, nice and interesting little delay filtery modulating kind of rhythm enhancing adventuring plugin. It is $179, I believe, which is pricey for a single plugin. The interface is excellent, everything is very clearly laid out, and it's very easy to route things from here to there and to modulate what you want to do. So overall, it's a really good time. And something that I like a great deal is that it's very touchy. And until next time, go make some tunes.